I linked up Odipo to Margaret Common, who's the founder and managing director of Maize Foods Limited, based in Eldoret, Kenya. Margaret is a graduate of Food Science and Technology from the Technical University of Kenya and has a postgraduate diploma in Food Science from Karlsruhe University in Germany.
My name is Odipo Gerfas. I like going by Odipo G. Managing Director of Judera Group Limited. We focus on propagating, planting, processing and packaging of herbs and spices, the entire value chain.
Margaret Common, founder and team leader of Maize Foods Limited, based in Eldoret, Kenya. That is where our processing facility is. But I would say we are based all over the world because that's where our market is. Yeah, international. Yeah, we're global.
Our main spices are rosemary and chili. We powder them under the brand name 1516, available in local supermarkets, from Quickmart and their friends. One of the things that we got ourselves into is a lot of debt when we were starting. And unfortunately, it almost stalled our business, literally, but we are learning how to just get out of debt. So when it comes to debt handling, as someone who has been in the industry for more than a decade, what recommendations can you be able to give to a company that is getting out of debt so that we can be able to stay out of debt?
Okay, I'll answer that in two ways. First, if the company has never borrowed or gone into debt, it is critical for the company to think if they need debt or if they have an internal capital to turn around into the business. So I would say debt is critical for what you really need for the business. You must get your cost right. You must also calculate the time you need to repay. You must think whether the debt will come with, what are the extras that is coming with? Is it collateral free? Is it with collateral? What is the interest you're going to pay? Who is the person lending you? Is the person only just interested to just give you money, or are they interested more in how you're going to be successful in the future? So there are a lot of factors to consider. And as you say, in the herbs and spices sector, it's a niche market. It's not easy to attract debt, but if you do, you have to make your calculation really clearly. I would say stay away from debt until you really need it. Yeah.
Stay clear.
Yeah.
So as a startup, one of the things that I've come to appreciate when it comes to building a foundation is the importance of a foundation. Whether you're doing it physically, whether you're doing it spiritually, whether you're doing it economically, socially, anything that will stand the test of time needs a very good foundation. What are the foundational principles that we can be able to apply as a startup to be able to guarantee the shelf life, as we call it in our industry, of our business?
Wow. When you talk of startup, it takes me back to, it's nostalgic. I'll tell you, with any startup, if you don't have the passion for what you want to do, you just stop. Don't start. Because every startup and every business to grow to get to where it is, there must be an internal drive. There must be something else pushing you. It's not supposed to be the money. It's not supposed to. There must be some other internal joy. So I'll always say passion starts it off. If you don't have the passion, don't start. Yeah. No matter how well you know the job. You may know the job so well, but if you don't have passion for that job, you won't wake up every day to it. Because startups have all these ups and downs. This morning you wake up and something has gone completely wrong. I remember in college we learned business studies, I remember, and we were told capital, location, and I remember there were 3 factors that we were told you must consider. If I was to change something, I would change my location.
Location?
Yeah, yeah, that's really something that I would change, because the decision on the location was based on factors that were not static, they have been changing. And if you think like 19 years later, so much has changed, but then you can't easily relocate a facility, you see. The roots are there. So that is something I would change. But for startups, I would say concentrate, specialize, don't be in everything. You know, if you decide you're going to be in herbs and spices, there are over 1,700 herbs and spices. Decide which ones you want to be in. Not all of them. So specialize, and if you pick the 2 or 3, don't pick too many, and then build the innovation within the ones you're already specializing in. Once you do that, everything else will fall in place. As I mentioned, we could all be doing chilies, but the way you present it, the way you package it, where you place it in the value chain, where you decide your business is going to be, and you specialize and you concentrate, you'll make it. People say, oh, we have problem with the market. No, there's nothing wrong with the market. Just understand what solution you're solving. If you're providing a solution to a problem, then you will get the market. So it's always placing yourself in the right place. Concentration. Specialize. Specialize. Know the product. Innovate within a special line, and you'll make it.
It is now your 19th birthday as Maize Foods. You know, happy birthday. And
yes, today is Maize Foods' 19th birthday. We are 19 years old, yeah. We're still a teenager.
You are now moving out of teenagehood, and soon becoming an adult company. And for us, we are just meeting the 6-year mark. So what can you be able to tell a 6-year-old Maize with the experience that you've gone through, in the sense that what can we be able to look out for? What can you be able to pay attention to as a 6-year-old company that is following in your footsteps?
Ask. ASK. Manage the attitude, accumulate the skill, and bank the knowledge.
Hey,
yeah.
ask.
Yeah.
Attitude,
manage the attitude, skill, and knowledge. If you invest in that, because when I look back, so much was happening when we were 6 years old, but we never stored that knowledge. We never accumulated it. We never put it in the right way, and we lost a lot of knowledge, and we never built skill. And we have struggled with that for a long period of time. Let me put it in the right way, in the current terms. Put in your systems and processes as early as possible. So if you're in food processing, ensure you are complying with certain standards, food standards and safety standards, processes, systems. You don't have to be certified. But if you, for example, follow the food regulations that are asked in Kenya, you don't have to be HACCP certified, but you can follow those principles and still give a safe product. If you do that early enough, the journey is easier along the way, because that is where the trend is, that people want to see formalized businesses, processes, systems. And we are lucky now, 19 years later, everything is in our fingertips. We have everything online, the systems, it's cheaper. I guess we never invested because it was very expensive then. It was not even available locally. If you wanted to have a HACCP certification, you had to get it from another country, because Kenya Bureau of Standards had not built their own internal certification processes. So those are the things I would say, like in the specific industry we are talking about, please build your systems, your processes. So I say attitude, skill, and knowledge. Build it within your business. Yeah.
It is very interesting that the first time we started our business, we attracted very many investors. And unfortunately, we took money from literally everyone. No discrimination, no thought. We just took money from everyone, and we ended up losing more than 10 million Kenya shillings, which, thank God, we have started paying, and we are focusing on paying it in full this year and staying out of debt. But we have noticed that there is a new breed of investors who appreciate that we have actually lost money before. And this new breed of investors is, they are coming in, and we are now at a position where we need to select investors strategically. How can one select investors strategically? What can we be able to look out for when it comes to getting an investor? Because knowing not every investor or not everyone who comes with cash is worth allowing into your business. Just because they have money doesn't mean that the money is the key. So what do we need to look out for when it comes to accepting investors now that we are attracting them left, right, and center?
I will classify investors into mainly 3 categories. I'll look at the impact investors, who usually give grants, money for free, and then I'll look at the people who give debt, be it in equity, be it in whatever form, or the angel investors. Angel investor could be your spouse has decided they want to go and invest in your business, or your child who is abroad. For all of them, if they don't appreciate the fact that either you've lost your own money or somebody else's money, then they are not interested in your business. That's the first factor. Just like you said, you started receiving investment when you failed. Over the 19 years that Maize Foods has been in existence, we lost 30 million in the first 11 years. Wow. We lost our own 30 million. You know, and I remember in the balance sheet, and we were thinking, so who's going to look at this balance sheet? We've lost our, but you know, it was attractive that we were prepared to lose our own money. So the way you say, you become attractive when you are able to go through the pain of losing. So how to select investors? For me, I would say an investor who wants to know what you have walked through first and foremost before they give you any money. An investor who values your journey. An investor who values your process and less the shilling you make at the end of the day. An investor who values the impact that you create to the society and the impact that you create to yourself is a good investor. So an investor that you can talk to, not an investor that bangs the table and says, hey, bring my 10 bob. And we are lucky that in Kenya, we have those kind of investors now. Unfortunately, some 80% are still the ones that ring the bell, and we have to find the other 20. They are there.
For those who are getting into value addition, those who are very, very keen on setting up value addition, what would be your parting shot to the young person who is right now thinking of getting into value addition? What would be your parting shot for them?
Oh God, know your product. Know really what you need, understand the market. And not just the current market, the trend in the market. Because the food market generally is changing tremendously all over the world. What people consumed 10 years ago is not what they consume now. And even if I look domestically in East Africa, I'll not speak of Kenya alone, the consumer is much, much more aware about the kind of food that they consume. So if you go into value addition for any food product, do not just go into conventional, what people ate 10, 15 years ago. Think like, what is the young population currently? You know, think of all the young people we have in Kenya. What would you think is the trend study the trend in the next 15, then start offering that kind of product. Because as you see, even every 6 months, trends are changing. Who would have thought that we would be using herbal toothpaste 10 years ago? You know, trends are changing. We have food in our hair oils and food in our toothpaste, and soon we'll be having food in even the seats we sit on. So there's a space to expand, but you have to fit into the trend, where the trend is heading. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, attitude, skill, and knowledge. Build knowledge in where you're going. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having watched the show. Hope you've learned a thing or two. If you'd like to reach us or just share your feedback, or you want to be part of the show, remember you can always reach us on our social media handles, which are running below the screen, at Ian Dennis Network, at @KTN Home_. So see you next week, same time, right here for The Business Coach, where we help entrepreneurs